Hello, everybody, and welcome to Flint 360.
Today we have about 800 students from around Genesee County.
I would strongly agree.
A host of guests.
Elected officials that's here. I see the Burton Mayor.
I meditate with the rising sun. I burn Satan.
I can run into somebody that...
Welcome to International Talk.
12-year-old mental.
Hello, everyone, and this is Flint 360, as you can see on your screen right now. I am doing this live in my own studio, just talking about what I'm doing here today. Number one, these are all the people, just some of the people that I worked with in my 5 years here in Flint. And the big idea about Flint 360 is that I think we need to tell a better story about our city. We have a lot of great people. Yes, we have some problems. We have some challenges. But we have a lot of great things going on here in our city that we're not telling a good story about. And I believe that the media is not to be trusted 110% because they are lining their pockets. They are doing things that are controlled by bigger corporations and everything else. And I think it's time for the community to step up and generate our own content and be able to tell a better story with our own voices, right? So what on your screen right now is just some of the people that I've worked with. On our top right, I don't know where my hands are going. We have Kenneth R. Gills with Clearing the Clutter, a part of You Can Do It, a pilot that we shot here in Flint. We have the Troubadours that we helped through COVID get through and still perform for schools in a virtual manner. And we did that for a couple of years, and that's them. We have a wonderful shot of Flint here in the middle with our logo that we custom designed by myself here for Flint 360. And a little bit about our logo. The logo is really about inclusiveness, whether that be on race, whether that be on faith, whether that be on spirituality, whether that be on view. I don't get too much into politics, but at the bottom underneath me, you can see that we have Mayor Neely, who I endorse personally. I believe he's doing a good job and has the community in mind all the time. We still have a lot of work to do with our councils, but that is a fact of life here. Flint's oral history. We have a lot of good storytellers in Flint, and that's one of the first things that we started off with here in Flint was at Flint 360 was trying to capture those stories. And that's another factor of what's going on with the Troubadours up there. We're not just about Flint. We're also about Genesee County. So we believe that there are a lot of good people that are near Flint who do business in Flint. So why not take advantage of our wider community of Flint and make sure that we are including them as well. Downtown, at the bottom corner there, I don't live too far from downtown at the studios here at Flint 360, and I wanted to show you just for a second what our studios look like. This is me where I kind of go through quickly about all the things that we're doing here at our studio. This is camera number 2, which is in the background. You can see how we are, hopefully I'm on the right camera. No, I'm not. I'm going to pin this up. And you can see here that I am talking about our studio here in Flint 360 and also changing productions very well. And as you can see here today, I was working on my wife, which she needs a new picture done for herself at age 9, and the results, I think we're going to go with this one for our view. So I spent a few hours working on that this morning. And then number 3 is our wide shot of our studio here. And let's see if I have this set up right. I think I do, but I don't think I've got everything set up right. No, of course not. I have to shoot something else. Yeah, that's my life. Always making sure that I get the presets right. So that's Flint360. Just a shot around our studio. I'm on edit 1, actually edit 3 right now. Over right here is our edit 2, which we take on the road with us with our soundboard to record people and do podcasts. Edit 1 is way over there. You can't really see it from any of my current cameras, but that's I guess of life. So that is chapter 1. And if anybody wants to come in here between 9 and 12 on Monday, this is where you would normally go, or our studio in our meeting room. And these places are made for you to be able to come in and tell your story. And I'm not going to charge anybody for that. And I'm going to try to do it as much as possible so you can walk out the door and have your show on that night. So that is a quick overview of Flint360 and our studios here in my house on 703 East Court Street. And we are now going to go into what we're basically doing in terms of making sure the world knows about us. Like I said earlier, I don't think we're honestly telling a good story about Flint because we're always focusing on what makes the news, right? Well, there's a lot of good stories around here. East Village Magazine, Kettering University, FCCCA, where all my kids go to school, and now University of Michigan as well, in the Genesee Early College. All these things are a part of our story in Flint. And what I'm going to show you basically what my plan was basically community content, right? Being able to maybe get a couple of full-time producers so that they are out capturing these stories that aren't on M Live or anything else of that kind of news ABC nature, and being able to get the stories of people who can't get out of their houses, maybe events that aren't necessarily publicized very well, being able to tell a better story about the businesses here in Flint. These are all things that are important to me. Okay, so let's go over right now to our screen where we're going to show you how we're trying to do this. And this is the platform that I have used, and Changing Productions is basically making this as a part of what we are trying to do in terms of bringing smart devices. So everybody has a cell phone in their pocket, right? So this is what this platform allows us to do. It allows us to connect to mobile devices, Roku, Amazon, smart TV. So if you have any kind of smart TV, I know that we're going to have an app that's going to be able to go on to that. Google Play, all that stuff is there. So let's just go down to the corner here and let me show you what's going on. So we've got Flint360. I'm going to show you the playlist that I have. And by all means, you can suggest playlists, and this is going to be a work in progress from the community. We're going to communicate by email and support tickets and open houses and all that kind of stuff. I won't go into the long story about why or how I got first involved with Flint. There was a fire station involved on Saginaw Street. Let's just put it that way. And I'm not going to tell you more about it right now. Okay, so some of the playlists that I have here are called Shorts, Faith, International Center of Greater Flint, Featured. This is the place where you're going to always come to always find places to go to. News from Neighbors. These are videos that have news about the Genesee County in general. I don't know how I'm doing this. This is just last week. So News from Neighbors is really about, I think, our community neighborhoods. I think that's what I was thinking there. Genesee County down here is maybe news from other kind of story of our neighbors in Genesee County, health issues, whatever that might be. Some of these things I think need to have their own channel. I'm kind of trying to follow what Mott does with Focus on Flint. So I haven't taken a quick look at that. I just started looking through the content that I've produced, and then I've tried to put them in categories, but I'm going to go back to Focus on Flint because I think what the Mott Foundation is doing and the Ruth Mott Foundation is doing for Flint should be encouraged and told a better story about as well, and make sure that we're promoting that as well. So the arts is important. We have a lot of arts going on, from the FIM, the FIA, to local artists, local musicians, the wonderful musicians that we have in our churches and in our faith groups. All these things are important. I believe that if you don't have a faith, you don't have a true north. So we are going to be inclusive to everyone and anyone, frankly, as long as they adhere to our editorial things, which means we got to be kid friendly for the most part. But we'll have probably some private areas that are off limits to kids. But generally speaking, you should be thinking about creating things that are, let's see, language specific for younger children, and are available to make sure that we are creating a community that is respectful, I guess is the best word. Okay, so those are some of our playlists that we're doing right now. Let's go over to some of the videos that you can see here that I've already uploaded. And we go here as well. I should also point out that we can live stream, so we can also send out text messages to get an SMS to your phone when we are able to do something that's live, that's newsworthy, that we really want to make sure that it's live and not pre-recorded. We can always pre-record something and upload it afterwards for later viewing. Now, let's talk about some of the projects that we've recorded. We had recently these videos that were produced from shorts, because I believe that shorts are, and most of the community does, from TikTok to YouTube shorts to Facebook, whatever. You know that you're watching short videos. So we have got that underway. We've got some examples there. I'm going to show you one now that allows you to see sort of what the shorts look like that we're producing at Flint360. Once upon a time, we had a community, and for a second, I want to cue this up here in Flint, that produced a play called Glimmerings of Hope. And Glimmerings was produced by a community called Children's Theater Company out of New York City, and they brought all of their staff here, and it was produced by and sponsored by the Llewellyn Baha'i Center of Learning in Davison, which is also in Genesee County, right? So I was able to capture the whole performance and also the training that happened. And really the goal of that event was to tell a story about a young youth in Africa in a war-torn village that had to undergo a transformation in order to find his own inner voice, to make his community better and find his spiritual voice at the same time. So we interviewed them here in the studio when it was in a different configuration. And I'm going to now play one of those videos for you that is hosted by our wonderful Kathy E. Now I can't remember Kathy's name. Well, anyway, it doesn't matter because this is just the raw footage.
Your life has
It does matter,
given you
Kathy.
so many things to be attacked with. That means you have something in you to not only take those attacks, but manipulate them into your own energy to put them a part of your story, because there's nothing that happens to you that's not supposed to. That is not supposed to happen to you. So it's either how you roll with it. You're not supposed to look
at 12, you don't look at it like that.
You don't.
You lose your mom, your dad, your sister is somewhere and don't know what's going to happen to her.
That's why I think what's so special about age and life is that no matter how old you are, it's still something that pushes you
He was
to
on a mission.
know.
Yeah.
He was on a mission.
Whether he knew it or not.
Yes.
And that's the path his life took him. But that little voice inside of his head, the spirit that spoke to him, even when he was in despair, it still propelled him and moved him.
It did.
Well, one of the challenges of writing this role was that it was an internal argument. It was not actually external forces. So much easier to depict when you got, battle one, battle two, bad guy one, bad guy two.
Okay, so that was the first one. This one is also from the same same interview.
Welcome to Flint360 right here in Flint, Michigan, where we're about to do a play, and I have a cast of characters that I must say are some of the most extraordinary people I've met in a long time who brought the play Glimmerings of Hope. Please stay tuned and listen to what we all have to say, because you will learn a very valuable lesson.
And that was sort of like one that I would probably start off the program with, because it introduced the whole shorts channel, if you will. Let's go over to the next one.
Talk about his choices of not joining the army as did his friend.
Well, I think it goes back to what Kibombe's makeup is, who he is as a person. And from the script, you see that he's a dreamer. You see that he is someone who goes with the vibrations of his heart. He listens to the rhythm of the drum. And that, not to sound typical, not to sound, placed, but I'm going to say that he went with what his heart felt was right, despite how he felt about any situation. He went exactly with what he knew was right. He had dreams of his parents. He listened to his parents. He didn't want to talk about school reports. He was like, Teacher Shaw, I don't want to do school. I have a passion to drum, and I feel like my drum can make a difference.
Okay, so basically you can now see what I'm trying to do here as the executive producer, which is basically find content that tells a better story, that is hopeful, is trying to encourage people that there is a better story, that they don't have to be a victim of their environment, that they can make different choices, that they can get help, that there's collaborators out there, there's partners out there. They just have to look, and they have to do the work really to change their life and change their outlook on life. I decided to move my family here because I believe that, number one, there was a lot of great people here. We made some choices that affected our long-term wealth here in Flint. That's affecting everyone, and also the future of Flint. Education obviously is going like this as we think about our lives right now in Flint. In my case, I believe that the University of Michigan, Kettering, Mott College, all these education, and I'm still learning more of them, to be honest. There's a lot of startups that are happening in the education space here in Flint. And these things are awesome, and they should be encouraged and talked more about so that the people who can use them can take advantage of them. Okay, so that is the end of my story here, and I think that I should stop and kind of wrap it up. One thing I'm going to go back to here as we finish up is that we are trying to basically make sure that we can sustain this. It's important to do that. We're looking for some partners and collaborators. So let me go into the packages here so that you can see the subscription plans that we have. And I'm going to change my camera here a little bit. And here's Boyd. Okay, so subscription plans. We're always going to be giving people a free 7-day trial. And right now, these are the programs that I put together. And what did I just do here? Wrong screen. Okay, so as you can see here, I think I'm going to be able to make this bigger here just with a second. Okay, so let me talk about each one of these one by one. The first one is the Flint subscriber. So that's basically the person that we want to download everything on their phone and be able to get access to the app and all of the free content that we have. I would say probably 80% of our content plans to be free, and there's going to be 20% for different individuals, and that 20% is going to hopefully sustain us in some way, shape, or form. Okay? So my goal is to get to 100 people right off the bat. That's what I'm trying to get to, because anybody who's going to be downloading this, I consider a partner and somebody who's interested in growing and telling a better story of Flint and Genesee County. Okay, so that's the normal subscriber. Everybody should be a subscriber at $20 a year. Okay, not a month, a year right now. Okay. Next thing is that you can have your own channel if you have the content on Flint360. So that means that if you've been producing content right here in our Add Your Voice, the monthly brand channel, that is for the people who have content and they're producing content every month and they want that content to be shown. Now, maybe you want to just give it away so everybody knows you and knows you as a contributor to Flint. Maybe you are wanting a paid subscription for something like that. So maybe you are a yoga studio and you want to do yoga lessons and have everybody subscribe to your yoga channel. Well, we can set that up in our platform here such that you can have your own members for your particular brand channel. So that's cool, right? Next, maybe you want a channel that you have some technical help walking into our studio here any time of the day or night that fits your schedule, to be honest, because it's in my house here in Flint, and be able to create your content with me. So maybe sometimes we go out on the field, sometimes we go out into somebody's school, or maybe you're doing a quick interview. What we're going to do is the subscription to start off with for that is $997 a month. So that gives you your brand channel, if you will, and you can contribute it to Flint360. It doesn't matter because it's all in the same place, right? And then we can help you create your content and distribute it. You should know that Flint360 is not just a mobile app. We also have a Facebook page. We're also going to be doing Facebook promotions and Facebook content marketing and YouTube marketing, and all that stuff is kind of built into this plan, this grand plan that we have. Now, maybe you don't want to create content, but you love the idea of doing something like this for Flint and supporting Flint360 as a sponsor. And we have two levels of that. Just the beginner level, if you will, the beginner sponsor, which is $500 a year, or the 12-month, the 12-month sponsor gold, which is the annual $1,000 payment. So if you're a bronze sponsor, $500 a year. If you're a gold sponsor, it's $1,000 a year. So just again, to recap, all of how we're planning on supporting this is subscribers with $20 a year. Add your own voice monthly brand channel. That means you upload your own content for $500 a month. That's unlimited, by the way. Add your voice monthly brand channel with tech help. We can do that with Zoom, going to your location. I love doing Zoom because it means I have to leave my office, and you don't have to leave your office, and we can do all these CNN style. And I'll have a separate video for that and show you examples of what that looks like. And then the sponsors, bronze and gold. And of course, you can also, by all means, you can also sponsor us for more money than that to get us started with something very specific that you think needs a little bit more help. So anyway, so that is the big plan here for Boyd and Flint360. And it's been 5 years because I saw what was happening I've been in the video business for 33 years, and I saw what was happening with the change in not just video channels on TV, but smart devices. I was a very early adopter with Roku and saw that things were changing rather quickly, and was an early adopter of the iPhone when it first launched as well. I was there when internet first started, so I can see what happens when big ideas are embraced by the world in general. And I believe that I need you to understand something, that this can be used, and Flint360 could be used and accessed anywhere on the planet. So there's no reason that you can't be interviewing people who used to live here, who have a story to tell, who are only oral orators that can only tell their story by talking. And we can do post-production on that and make it into something that's grand that could be on TV. I know that there's collaborators out there, so please get in contact with us to make sure that you are a part of what I believe is the destiny of Flint to be a model city for the United States, for the world. We can get back on our feet. We can get to a place where the houses get fixed. We can build tiny houses here. We can demolish these 14,000 homes that are a part of the land bank that I understand have to be taken care of at some point, and then find better places and better uses for our property that are more in balance with nature and our city and where we as a community want to go. I believe that if everybody had internet and fiber internet, then there's no limit to what we can create here. So I know that at this particular time, internet is still a challenge for a lot of people, especially on the north side. So we have to take that into consideration too, and all these things cost money. I'm in a studio that costs a lot of money that I've developed over the past 30 years and constantly upgrading, but I feel like I've got a good spot where I can frankly put all my stuff in a backpack and 2 Pelican cases and move and get into a plane or a bus or a truck or whatever it is and go any place in the world and tell a story of that particular environment that I would be going into and be hired in. So that's my story. Please download the app when it becomes available here in the next few weeks, here in Q4 2023. And in Q1 2024, I hope that we'll be looking at something that is remarkable, is the talk of the town, and has your voice as a part of it. And speaking of voices, I hear my family in the background, probably about to come into my studio any moment. I can feel the energy getting closer. And in that, I'm going to just sign off with, again, our promo for Flint360.
Today we have about 800 students from around Genesee County.
I would strongly agree. And
A host of
For
guests.
elected officials that's here, I see the Burton Mayor.
I meditate with the rising sun. I burn Satan.
I can run into somebody that
Welcome to International Talk.
12-year-old mental